give you is another save for the Death Prophet as well.
That is true.
Astral is pretty good. Someone gets gone on by Clockwork or a DK stun, you can very quickly save them.
I wouldn't even mind something like a Veno here, like something that wants a long
That's
fight.
not something... I think I even remember Winter saying that that's a hero. Like one of those heroes that Ice Ice does not like to play, so therefore they never play it.
Okay, well there you go. Something that wants a long fight, I think, is something good for MINESKI.
Bristleback.
Yeah, I don't think you could. You also don't want to feed into OD.
Yeah, long fight against OD is like you want a long fight, but not a fight where you're giving him tons of in.
Yeah, that's what I meant by like a Veno type hero.
Oh, okay.
Kite around type thing, like theoretically, like a Viper type hero could be good, but then that who's going offlane? You're doing offlane DK.
He doesn't play that either.
I don't think you reliably can burst with a lone druid. Oh, lone druid. Okay, the radiant's similar. Like it doesn't feed into the OD, and it does go along the lines of a long drawn out fight. Gives them some tower push as well. Like 2 heroes now.
You think it's definitely the Radiance build? I always feel like that range build feels pretty good against heroes like Death Prophet and even OD.
That's just true. I'm not gonna begin to act like I understand lone druid builds. Like I know what they do, but he's a quite in-depth hero when it comes down to these decisions. I personally would lean towards the Radiance just because of when I looked at this pick, I'm like, they want long fights, and Veno was kind of what stood out to me, and I think the Radiance lone druid is very similar to that. Like it just poke damages down newbie, then they can burst rather than just straight up going full to 0. But I would not be
10
shocked.
seconds remaining.
Okay.
Range.
It's weird because he's like the offlaner, so that's where we'll probably see Helm the Dominator, and then he's gonna make his decision after that. But
could see the Maelstrom or something like that.
The Radiant seems more like a utility offlaner build than the let's be the main right clicker carry. You've got the gyro there and provide that as well.
Another greedy lineup, I feel like.
Yes, I mean Lycan, Lone Druid as offlaners. These are heroes you'd expect to be seen played in the 1 position.
Well, House is getting hyped up and ready. Gentlemen, based on the draft we got here, are we going to be seeing a game number 3? Take this one, or do you think this is going to be a 2-0 shutout?
I don't think so. I think Newbie's draft is just, try to test it. They're very easy to execute. This Omni OD, Death Prophet to take towers, and again, this MINESKI greed, I don't know, it doesn't click with me.
One minute already. It's going to be Newbie rolling things out with, as you mentioned, that Omni OD combo with a Death Prophet. While we have MINESKI, Radiant side. We're running things in with a bit more of a greedier lineup here. And, man, I can't believe this DK set. Look at this thing. That doesn't even look like DK anymore. It's like a brand new hero.
Yeah, both game plans for both teams seem a little weird. I know they have Death Prophet for towers, but they don't really have like good lane shove on the side of Newbie, other than the Omni. And I'm gonna lean towards MINESKI again, but I said them for game 1 as well. I think the first game was more of like a race towards timings, while this game is more of a map control. Newbie's gonna group up while MINESKI tries to split them up and burst them down kind of game. And I think if Lone Druid,
30 seconds to battle.
I think he's going to be the most impactful hero in this game because they only have slows and displacement, I guess, from the Disruptor. They don't have stuns on the side of Newbie. And heroes like Lone Druid and Gyro love these type of games because they just capitalize on movement speed as their source of survivability. Last game, the Gyro was really unimpactful because they just had chains, and he got locked down by the Emperor very reliably. Very interesting game. I can't confidently say either team is going to win.
See how things unfold. A fight for the bounty runes here. It is going to be Ice 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 who snags that one up right under the nose of KP. Tries to contest it out. We will see a bounty rune split from both sides on this one.
I mean, 1v1ing. Oh, he has some lion help down bottom. This is some aggressive Ice 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 build. He has the Orb of Venom and Blightstone on his bear. Only has pull Tango, so very much wanting to harass heavily early on, which is why the line's here. You don't do this build if you're not going to have some support down here to kind of stun them and lock them down. You want 2 heroes to benefit from the slow and the minus armor.
Immediate Thunderstrike. Really good harassment level 1 spell right there. Getting it right on top of Ice Ice Ice, trying to maybe force out those early shared tangos to get used.
There's 1 more tangos.
But they're moving in. That's the bear going to work. Putting heavy damage focus onto KP, at least for now. Next Thunderstrike. Wings from both sides here. Flirting, I'd say.
Yeah, I like the choice to put the gyro top. The clockwork cog block allows it for the lane to be like in a better position for them. Gyro's a hero that's pretty survivable, kind of similar to Death Prophet in the off lane. He's just fast. And the clockwork protecting him, distracting the Night Stalker meanwhile, allows the gyro to CS. And you're just going to see kind of a back and forth between the two port position heroes. Both's job is to just distract from their respective laners so that the other four cannot interfere with the farm.
Laning setup looks pretty good on paper from MINESKI. All three lanes should theoretically do pretty decently. DK is already actually lasting very well against OD. We'll see if that continues as points in Arcane Orb are built up.
Now he's bullying SCCC back enough that he's going to be forced to dish up the south, but only falls back on one additional tango at that point. You mentioned DK taking off to a pretty good start. Trades continue here on the bottom between both supports, allowing those cores to move right in for the last hits as best as they can. Not heavy kill potential at the moment. PSG was talking about at the beginning. NEWBEE with the lack of control are going to make that kill potential be pretty hard. But maybe first Nightfall rolls around and we might see them unleash something here.
Yeah, and with the dual lanes, Night Stalker will be at least level 3, possibly level 4 come nighttime, so a lot more experience on all the heroes as a result of this laning setup.
Got that Satan free.
Easy 12 gold.
Being a bit of a nuisance here. Still DK and the Lone Druid for now, respectively, taking advantage of the CS in their lanes with their setup right now.
Yep. A lot of harass down bottom from Ice. He missed a few last hits when I was watching him just because he's prioritizing the harass more, but he wants to punish Omni Knight while Omni's low level. Can't take the beating as well.
We see Mugi going to be eating some black damage here. Mushi holding his own a bit better. He'll be taking rain on the gyrocopter this time. Felt that maybe, you know, doesn't play that support position as often anymore, so good to see him back at the core with maybe something a bit more comfortable. Harassment on the Boogie. It's a Thunder Strike. He's running on forward. Faith's still only level 1, so not even a chance for any sort of glimpse follow-up, but oh man, ow, ow, ow.
Need to pay level 5.
Yeah. Need that RNG being able to come in, play a factor, of course, but it is going to force Faith all the way back. We'll see if he decides to just return, or if he wants to wait things out for the 4-minute mark and try to tag team up Night Stalker maybe in a different lane.
Yeah, Omni Knight's game pretty much ends when the Lone Druid gets level 5. Not what I mean by ends is like he just can't really occupy the lane consistently. So they might be forced to make a rotation with the Night Stalker to bottom, or swap lanes of some sorts, just because any melee hero, once Lone Druid hits 5, the lane becomes uninhabitable.
We'll see where Faith decides to go. It looks like it's going to be at the mid lane right now.
DK's actually out-leveling the OD.
It's
putting in work.
crushing me. Yeah.
5, 25, and 6. SCCC 18, 3.
The nerfs to OD's early game, and like mana on a spell on his orb, it doesn't let you max it anymore. You just don't have the mana to use it, and I think that really tilts matchups like DK OD, which previously were so dominated by OD because you could just max your orb and basically just shred him with your damage.
The long road around to board down here in the bottom lane as the other one's going to be expiring pretty soon. Test of it in the side full camp a bit, but Lone Druid's still able to kind of do as he pleases in the lane, mainly.
This OD's getting fully bullied out of lane. Like, he's super low here. DK's going to hit level 6 soon. If you're out of lane, that DK's going to just pop his ulti and start hitting your tower, so this mid lane's a bit of a concern.
He's going to get 6 from this creep. Start pressuring it right now. Shrines just came out. Probably going to wait for the catapult wave, though. Might just go right now.
Someone better help Dire build power.
Waiting for the catapult, looks like. But any damage you can do in this tier 1 early on always going to add up over time, and this first nighttime we haven't seen the Night Stalker fully rotate just yet. Doesn't really feel like there's a good lane to find a kill. DK, Lone Druid, these other cores outside of the top lane are very tanky and hard to pick off.
There's just no plays to be made. They are trying to collapse on this DK. I can't imagine how they have the damage to bring him down.
They're going to go for it, though. They lead in with the banish. They should have seen Kaka in the river. Faith rotating over for assistance, but they're going to swing it out as they've got company. Boogie and Jabs stepping on in to swing it out. It's going to be Boogie securing that first blood with that takedown of Faith. Kaka looking to fight back, but No easy targets there, and it's MINESKI striking first.
That's just a factor of DK getting 6 before the OD. I'm sure he might even level his ulti on OD the second he hits level 6, just because they don't have damage to make plays anymore.
Double damage.
I'll grab that DD rune.
Immediately keeping the shrine, 3-man shower. Every man's dream. At least Dakota's.
Yeah. 4-man would be the dream.
Oh, sorry. Undershot it.
Jabs though, sneaking around the corner here towards the bottom. May cross paths with little faith here. Nope, ships in the night, they say. Bear may sniff him out though. Now we're gonna have additional reinforcements here. Kaka steps in, still have some nighttime to work with. Moon moves in early on with the Dragon Tail, is gonna need the assistance from that Omni.
This guy's home already. They want to push with the tornado.
Here they come, Tornado's out. NEWBEE, what kind of
DK 's just a
defensive
meat
call
shield
can
here.
they make?
Alright, this is the MINESKI draft. It's not about like any big radiance or Lone Druid timing. It's just about taking these super early towers with DK Lone Druid. You don't have the damage to kill them. OD, Death Prophet, Omni Knight, these are heroes that take a lot of farm and levels to come online.
Taking a little muscle power to finally bring down the tower, but there's no help to come from NEWBEE's side, it looks like here. They're content on farming out that top and mid lane. Harassing him back a bit, but that's going to be the tower. No deny will be there.
One tower down, and I imagine they're going to look for these other tier 1s in the next kind of 2 to 3 minutes.
Yep.
Probably see like Lone Druid rotate to another lane, particularly at that 10-minute mark when the next siege creeps come out. Use that Home of the Dominate to get another siege creep.
Lane, Moon rotates in, has that dragon form. Wild harassment with the Void, but
Radiant's top tower
easily
has looked
walk away from the threat.
I love how Moon rotated to take that tower without his ultimate. He just knows, like, they're just too strong to fight right now. And they can't fight into them on the side of NEWBEE. And that's just, like, a really heads-up play by a really knowledgeable mid lane player. It's like, I don't have my ultimate, the thing I'm supposed to use to push, but I'm going to walk here and push anyway.
He also knows the OD can't take his tower.
Exactly. He knows he's not losing anything. And the Gyro actually rotated mid and got a few nice levels off of that rotation. So not only did they take a tower that's usually hard to secure later on in the game, that tier 1 tower in the opponent's offlane, but it now freed up space for the Gyro, and now Moon can just walk back mid with his ultimate. And SEC has caught it back up on levels because Moon rotated, but these towers are going to start going down, as you said. The Lone Druid pace of the game with the Helmdom is just quite fast. He's already rotating to the top lane. Gyrocopter will have 6 off of this creep wave. Yep. Moogie's level 7 though on the Death Prophet.
Well,
He's gonna go down.
He doesn't have ultimate, yeah.
Not with an ult, so she should be easily handled here. Savage Roar, pushing back into the call down, even the cogs to help lock her into a place.
You guys, was that Exism just used to pressure the tower or something?
Yeah, it must have been happening while we were watching bottom.
Possibly went for like a Mushi.
Meanwhile, another ultimate here from DK in that mid lane was softening up that mid tier 1 tower a bit.
This top tower's just dead. Nothing you can do to defend it, and there's no counterplay for NEWBEE. They're just gonna watch these towers go down. Perhaps Mushi bottom lane. He might get solo. He's solo killed. Oh,
Trapped by the creeps.
That's
unfortunate.
It's a rough game. A lot of pressure coming his way.
He's not the pace setter for their team though, so that's why they prioritize the Lone Druid and the DK. Now you don't want your Gyro in this spot, but he is on recovery mode again. Usually what happens, just like last game where if you first pick the hero, it's going to be in a little bit of a rougher game.
See if they can divert their attention away from the Gyro so he can play catch up, but that does mean KP is going to get a bit of surplus of money and farm. 1,300 gold.
MINESKI getting it very scary with their level 6s on supports. That's when they have this huge kill potential on almost any hero. Hookshot, Initiation, Lion with a Finger of Death. Gets very difficult to defend towers when supports are level 6.
They're smoked up to top lane with the level 4 Lion, level 6 Gyrocopter. And it's just mainly around the fact that they have this Lone Druid. The smokes are to him because that's where they'll take the towers to follow up. They do have Death Prophet ulti to fight back, but they're just going to wait patiently on the side, hoping that Moogie steps out of position. But his Spidey senses, tingling map awareness on point.
Tome was bought. Looks like Ninja Boogie, the Finger of Death, going to be prioritized, and that's pretty key against a hero like Death Prophet to have that burst damage to bring her down during that ultimate and during the Spirit Siphons.
Oh, Faithful dive. Got the ward, but
He just wants his level 6.
he walked into the tower.
Level 4.
Quickly pays the price on that one. Will lead to a tower as well for MINESKI. Now the jungle side of Newbee's side of the map really opens up.
And the big deal about that rotation is that Jabs can get his level 6 bottom. And as you said, the support level 6 is on both sides quite important. Like, especially on the side of Newbee, who the only playmakers are the supports. And Jabs and Lion are both going to get their level 6s about the same time.
Here we go. Catch on to Kaka potentially, but a turnaround could be there. Kinetic Field is going to be dropped with the Crypt Swarm, and now the call of the Exorcism comes out from Moogie. Chesting on to Ice, 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 they glimpse him on back. It's going to be KP who bombs down the heel to get the bloodshed onto onto Little Ninja Boogie. Crypt Swarm's also there, and that's going to be the finish of Ice, Ice, Ice. Newbee take the names of 2. That little skirmish.
I'm surprised they made that play. 32 experience from level 6 on Lion.
Yeah.
Burst damage is quite important against a hero like OD. Especially with an Omni 9's team. He would have died.
Yeah, with the Omni rotation up there, they just didn't really have the tools to kind of press forward.
Yeah.
Lone Druid is like, you know, he's strong with this Helm of the Dominator, but he's not going to be able to kill or burst down heroes, so if Newbee come and take the fight, Omni Knight is something you have to address.
Yeah, against these heroes, you have to kill them immediately in this stage of the game. Otherwise, the Newbee will, because of the fact that their supports aren't quite leveled enough yet, or powerful enough yet, they can't find you and kill you, but they can absolutely turn fights, and that's exactly what happened there, and they need to be careful of that happening more on MINESKI. They need to keep forcing the issue, but they don't want to overstep their boundaries.
Lion can solo kill this top. Yeah, he'll use the finger.
There you go, haste rune value.
That kill always feels rough though to use that first finger just for support. Like, you want to take objectives, not having finger makes that a bit harder if the opposing team comes to defend.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like there's a support that's farming his level 6, and if you don't kill him, he's going to get his level 6, but at the same time, like you said, you don't have it for the cores that maybe were more valuable. I like the Clockwork sitting bottom. He's just defending his tower.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen MINESKI unwilling to give up any towers while taking 2 so far. We've gotten a decent amount of levels off of this and farm.
Supports, when you don't know what to do to make plays, just watch what Jabs is doing right now. Great way to just spend your time. Nobody else on the side of MINESKI wants to defend this tower, and they're actually going to smoke up to defend this tower with Moon and Ninja Boogie. Nice ward placement, I think. It'll see all the rotations from mid to safe lane.
Oh, they're going to cross right in front of Moogie and KP. They put their focus onto the Omni Knight first, but the silence is there.
I don't think they had even remotely enough damage to do that.
Even if they had finger, KP has 1845 health.
I love his build. The treads
They popped their smoke as they tried to head out. They'll get a 2-man stun, but he's going to get ambushed right away.
That's space for sure.
Having 2k health at 12 minutes in is just insane.
Yeah, he went for the Treads Vanguard. Like, the Treads I really like, and the Soul Ring, you can't even forget about the 6 strength from that. Strength heroes, you know, the new strength change is pretty good.
Yeah. Even Magic Sig, that's like another 100, 150 health, depending how many charges you have.
So fat. So meaty. We will try to tickle him a bit, but
Jeez,
that's stop it. Stop it. It's been hurting me. Jabs could be in a bit of a pickle. Oh yeah, they're not going anywhere, buddy. You need to cancel that TP with the glimpse. Just unfortunately the wrong spot, the wrong time.
They need the Lone Druid Radiance.
You can see MINESKI really slowed down. Like, the feel of this game was like, wow, they're taking all these towers super early, DK Lone Druid go no lane, and then they get stopped up top because they made that move without supports who are level 6, and suddenly it's like, well, they're just kind of hit this roadblock where they feel like they have to just go farm.
I like the way KP's like conceptualizing this game. He's like, I'm going to be a wall. We don't have catch, but we have a wall to stop you from taking objectives. And they are going to look to make something happen in the mid lane. Mushi may be in trouble, but once again, they don't have any stuns.
Really crush the momentum of MINESKI. I mean, you were talking about how they're kind of hitting a bit of a speed bump. This could be that full-blown wall. Newbee get a good opportunity to move in on here.
Tower, but no harm, no foul.
It's like they're not going to find a catch onto MINESKI, and they'll just cut in and go for the tier 1 instead. Mushi is nearby, being spotted out by Kaka, and that's going to be the lead in from Jabs. They're going to try to quickly blow up the little Count Dracula, and they'll do it. Kaka gone.
And the problem is, as I mentioned, other than DP ulti, what does Newbee actually do to take objectives? Meanwhile, Lone Druid's already pushing tier 2 top. It just takes them so long to set this up, and I don't even know if they're going to get this, because Lone Druid's TPing back to defend. He already took the tier 2 top.
Yeah. All right, Moon moving in confidently. They're going to hit him with a Thunder Strike. Does hold the Dragon for him. Jabs, no hook shot, but he's trying to weasel his way in, maybe.
Just get the deny if you're
Newbee really want this tower. They're not leaving without it. MDL confident to rush on forward. They will go for the Glimpse pullback. They're trying to burst down the DK on the back of a silence. Impossible. He gets hit with the urn, a little bit of heal, but ultimately going to get blasted down from the hammer of SCCC. Jab's going to get focused down on one side from the DP. The rest of MINESKI backpedal. Jabs. Oh, thank God there's a haste turn, but no! He's got the Yules. MDL silences, but he didn't.
He should have waited till he took the haste, so he purges the haste with the Yules. They're going to look to dive again on the Lone Druid.
They still want that tower. They get the connection and the grab potentially onto Kaka. Can they get the finish on the back of a call down? Not quite. Stagstorm going to be committed right on top of him. Going to be forcing back MINESKI a bit. Jab still swinging things out. 7 seconds and the DK is going to be back in for this fight.
This is why they need the Lone Druid Radiance.
Yeah.
Because you can see that MINESKI completely relies on burst, and they don't actually have enough damage to burst you down, so they need to have you just take a little bit of damage over time, because these heroes are living with like 400 health.
And it's not like the fights are lasting 5 seconds. That fight was like a good 15, 20 seconds, where if the Radiance Bear is on top of like KP during that, he got down to about 300 health. His build is really paying off there. A Radiance would have probably gotten you a couple of kills from
They didn't even lose that tower, though, by the way. It is in deny range. And, I mean, if they get this Radiance, that's their timing massively. And I like that Mushi's trying to line up his timing as early as possible as well. And does he almost have the BKB?
Oh, quick snipe right there onto Kaka. The rocket goes out. KP gets the repel, but then quickly gets tangled down.
Moon, he's got a Blink Dagger.
Sliding on out, Moon looking to rush on in, has the blink, blinks on up to the high ground, the glimpse, but not before they're going to be finishing off Faith.
I like that he doesn't go for the Omni or the OD. Each one will save the other, so it's just a free kill on the supports, and as we said, their only playmakers are the supports. So this should pretty much secure the Lone Druid to Radiance. Can't imagine NEWBEE tries to take this fight.
Oh, they're TPing in. They definitely want to defend. They don't want to allow MINESKI to take so much away, but what can they do about it? Moving in, MDL. There's the Siphon. No pop of the Exorcism.
They do have Exorcism again. Never mind. I thought that was still
I think they just feel really strong with this OD. If he can just charge in with an Omni behind him, healing and repelling, they know SCCC, he's going to get enough in and just win the fight for them.
Yeah, and that's why the Lone Druid range is so important, just because you don't want him soaking into while you're damaging them. And this DK is basically just a what would you call it? A fountain event? Never-ending supply. Int farm. There you go. That sounds better than anything I could come up with. But they're actually just going to walk into Roast. They know the Lone Druid Radiance isn't quite up yet, which is 700 gold off still, so they can't contest this.
MINESKI feels like their timing's going to be more around their BKBs with the Radiance. Yeah. That's why both cores are rushing the BKBs to match kind of the Radiance as much as possible.
Oh, they're looking like they want to try to steal it on the clockwork.
Believe in yourself.
You got this, Jabs. It's all you.
Nope. Kaka with the block. Hits with the void. Pump fakes the hook shot, but will not commit in with it. Ninja Boogie tried to roll in.
They could take a fight post-Exorcism, theoretically, but they don't have Radiance. That's
splitting him up a bit. Jabs, glimpse back, and still on the high ground. Kinetic field will lock him, but he jumps it away to the side of Moon. But they are in pursuit.
Bear's gonna have a Radiance, it looks like.
Okay, there's the setup, but I don't think assistance is gonna be there. It's just gonna be the sacrifice of the clock.
Free end.
Side push from Mushi here in the bottom lane in the meantime, but that is NEWBEE taking your Roche and your Aegis. Little pick there from MINESKI's side. It is going to be a SCCC pocket that Aegis, of course.
Game just feels like it's going to get harder and harder as it goes on, and OD gets more items. Like, he's going to have his Hurricane Pike soon once he has the Blink as well. You have to have BKBs to match it, and even with the BKBs, the worry is you're just going to get kited during them.
A gift from the Tempest of Battles.
Give your hero the Radiance. Nice. There you go. Little trick there, giving his illusions the Radiance. This is timing for MINESKI. Obviously, they ideally want to wait for this Gyrocopter BKB 700 gold off. But that's not going to be in time for the Death Prompt Ultimate to be off cooldown.
3 seconds for that. She's not with her team right now. Her team mid lane, ramming their way down the lane. Glimpse back catch, but a jump from Jabs to try to disrupt. Ice will fight within the trees. They're going to get a quick blow up on the Faith and take him out of the equation before a Stagstorm will even
They fingered the repel, so fingers on cooldown.
It's a pretty good takeout of the ulti from both sides then. Jab's in a lot of trouble here, getting blasted on down. Good stun though, barely keeps him alive. He runs out and away, barely holding on. That bear moving in with that burn damage. There's the Aegis going to be taken away, but they are going to get the takedown of the bear, and 300 bits of gold into the pocket of NEWBEE.
The bear was just sitting in like the middle of 4 heroes for a good 30 seconds there. I think at some point you just have to address it. Yeah, 4.6k damage done on the teamfight recap there by the Lone Druid. All of that Radiance. It just sat in the middle of 4 heroes.
There was like 4 or 5 right clicks, I think.
Okay, 95% of it Radiance.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those where I actually want to see Lone Druid go for like a Solar Crest or like a Blade Mail on the bear, because they just need to prevent it from getting focused. Yeah. I don't think AC really makes that much of a difference now, because most of NEWBEE's damage is not actually the physical, but quite curious to see where he goes with the Lone Druid, because his purpose, as we saw, is just to whittle down NEWBEE's lineup. As of now, they don't have a pipe, so this is a small window where they can make use of that fact. Omni Knight skipping over the pipe entirely, going for a Blink Axe build. Not sure if I'm a huge fan of that, actually.
Yeah, we're seeing teams, for the most part, have learned that, you know, against this Radiant style, a pipe is just so ridiculously good. If the fight's going to last, you're going to get value out of it, all 5 heroes.
Yeah, so if he did 4,600 damage, the pipe would reduce like 10% of that, and like 1,500 because you give it to all your heroes.
Yep.
That'd be like half the damage from the Radiance in that fight.
Quick
maths.
With that said, the Radiance also didn't feel that impactful because Omni has this constant sustain. He's healing people up.
They do have BKB.
Yep. The key thing is they whittle them down. They need someone to actually burst them, which is going to be the Lion, I guess. It's really just the Lion.
MINESKI are pursuing. They're looking to chase and cut off NEWBEE in the jungle here, if possible. Moon pops the dragon form. It's Jabs heading out up north. They will glimpse him back, but maybe into the arms here. MINESKI, if possible. Dropping down the static storm. They're fighting under the shrine. Jab trying to heal up. Hook shots on forward. Looking to go for the finish of Faith, but Faith will not be brought down, and now their focus from NEWBEE turns onto Ice. They hammer him on down, and Boogie's going to be next. 3 to fall from MINESKI's side, and all 3 going to get grabbed from Mugi, make it 4. As there's going to be also the finish of Mushi. That is your BKB debut fight. MINESKI
just no
don't
damage.
get anyone.
Yeah.
No BKB piercing damage.
Yep.
That Mugi was unkillable walking at them with his BKB.
And then OG's got to repel. They kind of initiate. It's like a soft initiation when they blink and they stun him. Like, they know Omni's going to try and repel him, but they just want to force the repel out. But, like, who do you go on at that point? You've initiated, and suddenly there's this BKB Death Prophet and this repelled OD, and you can't kill anyone.
Yeah, they're just too hard to fight into at this point, and I don't know. I don't see how MINESKI turns this around. Like you said, OD's just going to get harder and harder to kill. He deals with the bear even better. We didn't even mention the fact that they have Spirit Siphon for the bear. Quite good at bringing you down. Tired of picking MINESKI in my drafts.
Well, if Gyro was, I feel like if Gyro had a good lane and actually accelerated this game, then you're looking at a different story. Then you're looking at Gyro that can have an impact, but Mushi's just being kind of sacrificed to give farm to everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite frank, NEWBEE is just looking like the better team, the way they're playing their lineup.
This is such a classic NEWBEE drop too. Like, let's pick this unstoppable 5-man lineup and run at the enemy team. It's the we're gonna Rosh and let you know we're Roshing lineup and dare you to come and fight us. The NEWBEE Roshes are not subtle ever.
Definitely polished things up a bit, since maybe a bit of their group stage play as well. They are trying for that long lower bracket run. Still quite a journey ahead of them here. They're able to inch past MINESKI with just 1 more win. MINESKI continues to try to hold on if possible, but there goes their tier 1 in the top lane. All 3 tier 1s are going to be gone. NEWBEE congregate to the jungle side. We still got plenty of time for the Rosh, so they pop the smoke and they go on the offensive.
I think MINESKI needs to basically take a chill pill and split this game up a bit, because they still have no catch on the side of NEWBEE. The problem is they can build in like sheep stick on OD and stuff, and if he chooses to go that right, he's actually just going pure damage though. He has Hyperstone, so that could be a straight Moon Shard, honestly. I don't even mind that build.
Kaka pops the nighttime rather. We are seeing a converge here. Faith could catch anyone left out behind, and that someone is going to be Jabs. He'll just sacrifice himself and tank that gank.
Your blade mail. Gonna get those damage stats.
Where is the value? Lone Druid considering a Maelstrom. Not a huge fan of that because their main problem is BKB and repel piercing damage. Which I don't know if there's any item he can actually build to solve that problem.
Yeah, I'm like scratching my head like, what is the item? How do you play this game? I feel in his shoes you should go for like some all-in split push style.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say like Ags and
Mask of Madness
there.
or something.
Yeah.
Shadowblade, sure. Like you cannot fight into their 5-man. Your Radiance is ultimately going to be better used to split push waves than team fighting. So yeah, an Ags seems pretty decent.
Ninja Boogie! Dead!
Keep pressuring top on the Lone Druid. This is crucial. Like, they have to make Newbee react to what they're doing rather than reacting to what Newbee's doing.
Yep. DK's doing the same thing mid, pushing out the lane into the tier 2. And there we go. TPs will be forced. Newbee can't do what they want, which is pressure bottom.
TP also at the shrine here. Yeah, they're trying to see if they can cut him off, but Ice is already at the high ground TP spot and gets that Savage Roar off.
Newbee are going to have to put some resources and effort into hunting down the bear. They lose Disrupt on the way out, but...
This is exactly how they can win the game on the side of MINESKI. They just drag them around the map and find heroes that are split up, because if there are multiple heroes on Newbee there's no way you're killing any of them.
But don't you feel like, yeah, it's working now, but Newbee's going to adapt?
I'm not saying it's going to win them the game, but if they win the game, this is certainly what it's going to look like. Yep. And they have learned this the hard way after jumping in and feeding like twice, I think. So it's just one of those, like, sometimes you think like... It's really hard in Dota when you realize at some point that you just can't fight them. And sometimes it takes a hard reminder of like trying to fight them and having it just not work. But they're going to catch the Clockwork out with this Astral. Should be in trouble here. He actually just gets silenced up even though it's during the daytime. Going to go down anyway. And that's just free it. He's up to 20 stolen in right now.
Again, we have the bear split pushing top, which is a sigh of relief for MINESKI. They know that Newbee can't go and force a fight, use Exorcism. We haven't seen one in quite some time now.
He actually completed the Maelstrom. I feel like he maybe just thinks like push waves faster. But if his hero's not there, that doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, not.
We'll get it
really
out.
Working that way.
But I really like that DK is just like, he's even using his ult off cooldown and just buying a Shadowblade. Shadowblade's the best item in these type of games where you just want to split and make it hard to catch you. Their primary source of catch is Glimpse, so as long as he's Shadowbladed, unless Disruptor got the Q and dust off on him, he's not going to catch him. They have a gem on Nightstalker though, so that changes things a bit.
He's even got the Axe queued up. I think he's recognized. You know, this is going to come down to us being able to find a pick off here and there. Their way of winning is through split push. We need catch to prevent that. Let's get the Axe.
And I would like to see OD, after whatever this Hyperstone's being built into, building a sheep. Because he can pretty much solo kill anybody on the side of MINESKI if he has a sheep stick.
Didn't there used to be an OD build where they got like just early Moonshard?
Yeah, that's why I said Moonshard. I think it is a Moonshard. Looks like it's AC.
Oh.
Well, damage.
That's the last time I listened to Dakota.
Newbee and SEC not really the type of team player to like that.
Was like the old CTY builds.
CTY, that's
he
what
loves his Moonshards. Anti-mage, Battle Fury Moonshard.
Yeah.
MINESKI is smoked up. They might just try to, sneak Roche.
Oh, man, that seems... we see a smoke play from Newbee as well.
Oh, they might just try to ambush this Rax top.
Newbee is right behind him.
Newbee
is right behind them.
Newbee's gonna Roche.
They Exorcism.
They scout it. They know where the rock flare came from.
I think you go for this Rax.
Well, Radiant scan on top of themselves. You there. Roche down to half of its life.
Gonna be pulled in.
They're going now. Mushi just outside, drops the call down, jumping for Moon to lock him in their place. So we're gonna go for the quick burst on the Omni Knight. Can they get him down in time? It doesn't look like it. Stacks for follow-up though, could help. The Roche goes down, but it's Jabs who grabs up the Aegis just in time.
Got the cheese too.
Bear gonna get blasted apart. Cheese also gonna be acquired, but Newbee still stands strong here as it looks like MINESKI are gonna begin to fall. The big ulti drop from SCCC will secure the takedown of Mushi. Jab's cute play to be able to grab the Aegis, but he'll lose those lives right away. This fight still belongs to Newbee. Clean and clear.
The save, you know, you go in this Omni Knight, you all in him, and suddenly he's Astral. Then it's like, well, what do we do now?
Wait 4 seconds and then kill him, and then by that point it's too late.
And by that point, the bear's already dead, and you lose that Radiance Maelstrom bear, like, fight's over at that point. That's the majority of your damage output. This Gyrocopter's just like a frontline tank more than anything.
I thought MINESKI had kind of learned their lesson. You just can't fight them head on. Let them have the Roche while you're pressuring top. The Roche only matters if they can barrel down a lane and take objectives with it. And now that you fought them, even though you didn't get the Aegis, or they didn't get the Aegis, they can still just walk down mid like this.
Yeah. It was such a good position to get top because Clockwork can stop the TPs, you know. He sees him with Rocket Flare. He can go for that Aegis snipe if he wants to.
Just cancel the Disruptor TP and they can't catch you.
You literally tell your Clock and even your Lion or you tell your Gyro DK that go run at them or something. One of those cores can run at them and feed while you take top racks.
Throw your body at them and just cause a distraction because I'm very surprised MINESKI made that play. You just can't fight them at any point now. They're just too... If this is a game where MINESKI's up by 5k, I still don't think they can fight. And they're down by 5k, so a little odd of that choice there.
You just like throw this butterfly on Gyro for that fight and it doesn't change anything.
It almost tells me they haven't played too much Lone Druid. I don't know about their previous games, but Lone Druid's a hero that... What I've noticed about every game of Lone Druid is that at some point you simply cannot fight them. And that's just the nature of the hero. You kind of hit this Radiance timing and then somewhere around like 25, 35 minutes, depending on the game, the other team just no longer cares about the Radiance. They kill your bear fast enough. And they just don't care.
Well, this OD just got his level 20 talent. Plus 2 Sandy's Eclipse multiplier. That is going to start to hurt a lot.
Ow.
Boogie.
He just wants a Blink Dagger.
Well, he will die for it. Get him, boys.
He's fine.
No, don't do this. He's got TP. There's no chance in hell, buddy.
Like, I'll take that.
Nothing wrong with some wishful thinking.
Just really trying to split things apart here. The bear all the way up at the top lane, trying to cut creeps. Moon's mid lane, trying to take a tier 2.
Oh, they're scouting out the TPs.
Almost get it. TP's coming. Yowded, of course.
He's gonna have the BKB. He doesn't have TP in his inventory.
Oh, God.
Chase him to the ends of the earth.
Oh, that's happening.
Okay.
Jab's nearby, also going to be spotted. Oh, he doesn't get the hook shot. TP, glimpse. Certainly will pay the price. Both supports of MINESKI now throwing their bodies into the team, but maybe not at the timing.
I think
that is a tactically correct play.
They have to do this.
Like that,
absolutely have to do
what
this.
just happened there is a good sequence of events for MINESKI.
Yeah, 100% agree. And the only problem I have with it is it's two team fights too late.
Yeah, if they'd been doing that from the get-go, they'd be
now
more damage.
The OD has a Hex coming online, which is no longer going to allow this to happen.
And Ice is not itemized for it. Ags plus
Where is the Ags? Yeah, I'm very shocked that it's sometimes easier to see that you can't fight when we're watching the games from our perspective, for sure. But at the same time, like playing this Lone Druid hero, I feel like Ace would have gone Ag Shadowblade. That's what I feel like. Based on what I've watched, like a lot of these players, when they're in these type of rough Lone Druid games where you're not ahead anymore, they just say, well, drop the entire plan of ending the game early and we're going to try to cheese you out of this victory.
And they recognize it very quickly.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, he's lost a few fights, he should have recognized it, but he's just like, he's all in. He's committing to this, I don't know, what do you even call this build? Like more fighting, damage build? Like,
I really hope he redirects to the Axe. It's his only chance, I think, of winning this game. And they still could cheese. You can always cheese with Lone Druid. The hero will take your base quite quickly, but this game's only getting harder and harder. And once this OD gets Sheepstick, he does kill the bear. Pull to 0. They are smoked up on the side of NEWBEE, looking to force a fight. They don't have that Sheepstick yet, but the Gyro is going to possibly get caught out. He has BKB, but you might just have the BKB TP if he has it. Nope. Yeah, he just has TP. That was dangerously close
to go for the finish, but
this Omni Knight has Ags going for what he says is going to be a refresher. The Ags will be a fortification. That's one thing I like about the Ags now that I think about it. He knows the only way they lose is some cheese strat with split pushing.
Yep. 9-second fort, a long cooldown, but why not? If you ever find yourself in a base trade situation, that sounds pretty handy. And again, we see Ice, he's split pushing mid. This is the right play, but
he's not there with his actual bear. It's just Radiance burn. It's not enough. They have to react to you, and they have to be forced to react to you, and they're not. They're just walking at your base. And this is where a lineup with no catch doesn't matter, because you're walking down lanes.
You're going to melt this pretty quick here on MINESKI's side if they can't do anything about it. Exorcism out in full force. One rack's done. Second one to follow.
Shivers, AC, there's a Lincoln's on Death Prophet. KP's got the Ag Scepter, Crimson Guard. Like, they have itemized to just be able to 5-man down a lane, and there's nothing MINESKI can do to damage them.
Yeah, this game's looking pretty grim for MINESKI.
Got the Boots of Travel on the bear. Yeah, this is not the build.
I mean, boots of travel don't do anything if you don't have an axe.
This desperation mode smoke from MINESKI.
This is we win this and win, or maybe give ourselves a chance, or we lose this fight and call GG kind of smoke.
How it feels.
They don't even have the blink on Lion yet, but this game's only going to get worse. And NEWBEE is onto them. They know that if they're going to make a play, it's now. They're not showing with the bear.
Something's fishy.
Yeah, they smell it.
They're gonna send.
All right, that's just
That rocket flare kind of revealed where MINESKI is.
No hard pursuit here from NEWBEE at the moment, though. They're still taking things cautiously here.
DK's got an Orchid, but I'm not sure how much that's gonna help.
It's good, but too little, too late seems to be the going theme here for MINESKI.
Go on KP and then silence the OD. I guess that's the plan. It's like a lot of things you need to have go right to win a team fight.
He's got 3k life now with this Omni. Yoked out of his mind. I don't know how they're going to plan to burst through that. All your hardy damage is going to load through it, let's say.
I would say this Rapier queued up on Gyro is a potential to come back, but this is an Ags Omni Knight, probably one of the only things in the entire game to deal with it other than like an Ags Abaddon. You just can't rely on Flak in order to deal the damage it needs to deal for a game-winning fight.
Lane's about to be a little exposed here. They did want to push pretty hard from MINESKI's side. I see the things in defense NEWBEE, so they know it's something they are going to have to rotate back for. Not before they grab a tier 2 at the bottom lane. Are they going to keep going? Pressure coming from both sides here on MINESKI now, mid and top.
They're just walking bottom on NEWBEE.
He's paying mid and top. They don't want to fight this. They've given up. Defending, that is. They haven't given up on this game.
They're just going balls to the wall, it looks like, on maybe a hard push. Maybe Ice now committing in towards the top lane as well. In addition to that DK. NEWBEE happy to take them head on in a push for the bottom lane here.
They have the Ags Omni Knight.
Begin to run in on the racks. Ice does the same at the top. There's the Omni ulti. Now coming out to help fortify the base back home. Tier 3s were taken down at both the mid and the top lane. Oh, and they spotted out Daryl now. Meanwhile, they are going to be able to get the finish onto Jabs, it looks like, to the hands of Moogie, but here we see the chase for Ice. It looks like he won't be able to TP out, but Ninja Boogie crumbles down as well, way down and below on this map as they look to go for the finish on that second Rax. They can't quite get it done. A buyback now comes out for Ninja Boogie as they're trying to get a hold of Moogie. Going for the TP, but...
Oh, the root chance, 20% chance to possibly come back in this game. Where is the Ags on this bear? He has the boots of travel meal there. I feel like his entire build is predicated on what he's doing, and then he doesn't have an Axe.
It's conditional on his hero being there to split push with the bear, which is, you know,
not happening very often.
Yeah, take away that necessity, and it's so much easier to split push.
Yeah, it's just really confusing. I feel like he's like going halfway between both playstyles.
Yep. Even the Mjolnir, now he's got Basher queued up. Like, there's just way better kind of split pushing items that you often see. The Shadow Blade you mentioned, the Mask of Madness,
Deso sometimes.
Yeah, like those kind of builds here could have caught NEWBEE by surprise.
They know they have no Omni Knight ulti, and Gyro, or they're actually just walking into Roche. Okay, maybe they managed to sneak this. I don't think NEWBEE's going to allow this to happen. They have DP Refresher Orb for double Exorcism, but it's not up for another 35 seconds. Clockwork is doing the space creation maneuver as they try to take Roche. The cogs blocking off the ramp, and they scouted out. You probably know this is happening, but the Roche is dead, so...
They will go for Jabs, though.
Jabs.
But that's a worthy sacrifice to create that bit of space for MINESKI to cleanly
for the cause.
And get up the Aegis. That Aegis is going to go to Mushi, so if he does decide to move forward with the Rapier, he'll have that extra life for it. But is he safe? He's running back and away, but look at Kaka and the move speed here.
He has to beat
Daylight. Oh, they get that glimpse. They send him all the way back, but he pops the BKB.
Luckily for Ice, the Night Stalker didn't have Ags yet on the from the Courier. Otherwise, he would have died because he was TPing from high ground. Get an Aegis. All right, BSJ. What's the deal? Gyro level 20, minus 25 second cooldown.
Yeah, he's going global cooldown.
Split push waves?
Split push waves.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's... I mean, no amount of moves he's going to change this game. That's pretty much what he's saying. And
here we go.
He has double ulti.
Yes, he does. Picked up that refresher not long ago. puts the first exorcism out there, looking to go for Vegas, looking to go for the win. Hammer for drop, that's jabs out. Mushi though moving in pretty hard. No rapier damage yet, but he unloads everything he can to hope to go for the finish and take out that Death Prophet before she can really unload with that secondary ultimate. Waiting for the exorcism to conclude. Moogie holding on with the back of the siphon, still living. Still sucking away. The Yules could be enough. Here's the second life of Mushi now coming back. Moogie holds on. Gets all the life back, and she's fine. Holding strong. Exorcism number 2, and this should be the nail in the coffin. MINESKI and their tournament life.
That's so painful.
There's like this sliver of health who's just holding on for like 20 seconds and then boom.
He just
full heal.
these Shivas, refreshers, or sorry, Yules's, refreshers, Yules again, BKBs again, and then his ulti just comes back and pulls his ult back.
Convenient timing for them. It's going to be NEWBEE walking away from this series. 0 out MINESKI from MDL. And this now moves NEWBEE into a top 4 position, right? And some DPC points.
Probably feels pretty good because they were one of those borderline teams, you know, 6, 7, 8. You don't want to get overtaken. Every event that goes by, you secure your spot, and that was pretty convincing, I'd say. 2 games, solid drafts, and perfect team play. This is like NEWBEE in peak form, I feel.
I think this is a classic. I think both games could have gone either way in the drafts. I think